Good morning, Academy 55, and all the premium members, and anybody else who's watching the recording. David Kahn here on Tuesday, the 6th of May, 4 minutes to 8 in the morning. Um, First time I've been on the charts for about 6 weeks now, and a bit rusty. See if I still got it. I've never been off the charts for that amount of time for the last 10 years. Well, yeah, 10 years, yeah. So, but it's like falling off a log. So we'll wait till 8 o'clock because that's the new advertised time. And as you can see, I'm on the 5 minute time frame, and we've got some buy zones here. We were in the buy zone. Up she went, and we're coming down into a buy zone area now. So I wouldn't want to be taking a sell if there was any. Yeah, there's one there, but I'll be a bit wary about it. Well, we haven't got the red trend line yet. A fair amount of sideways movement here since about 20 past 6, and then we had a little bit of a buying power. But like I say, I'll wait till there's a couple of minutes just in case we have any stragglers. Not stragglers, they'll be on time actually. You guys are just keen, which is not a bad thing. But so had a lot of consolidation here, look, from for a good half an hour, as we did here. Generally speaking, there is a saying I was reminded of the other day. I heard it again. Make the money in May, get out in May, and make money again in September. So basically, generally, very generally, markets become very quiet between June and July, August, because bankers are on holidays and stuff like that. But we have Donald Trump to thank for the continuing volatility. We never know what that guy's going to do with his tariffs. So we don't think it's going to be like normal years, let's put it that way. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's always little things in the market. It's a reflection on the world affairs, but even more so with a certain person in charge of the United States. So it's now 8 o'clock, so it's officially time to say good morning. Let's go and have a look at the bigger picture and see what's going on, as I tend to do. Let's go on the daily. I'll take the indicator off a minute and just see we have a large swathe of imbalance down here and also here that needs to be swamped up, but it's on the daily. I don't really just noticing that. I think The picture is the buyers are in charge, trying to force the price up. So we'll go on the 4 hourly. Very much no trends one way or the other, really. Very much going between these areas here. So very loosely, go from the top to the bottom, roughly there, I think. And this is our sort of zone that we're operating in. Usually, price moves between 70% of that zone, so there to about there. So that's the really zone we're concentrating on. Going down to the hourly now. So, as you can see, we've got this move up, bit of imbalance there. So we could put it on the line chart and see we have 2, 3 or more points of interest to look at. Now, just there is a point of interest. Get a horizontal line. I'd say just about there, really. Point there, definite point there. That was resistance there, but it was support there, and price hung around there. So that is a very important area there, I would say. And right where price is now is is an important area. So we draw a horizontal line there. Support there, resistance there, and that's where we are at the moment. So that is an important area. The next one is, this is on the hourly time frame. Oh, I got that trend line. Sorry, I got the wrong one again. I want a horizontal line, not a trend line. So we go there because we've been resistance there, support here. So that's a fairly important area. So we got enough to go on from there. Put it back on the. I don't go no lower than the no lower than the hourly for the support and resistance lines because they are fairly important. Price likes to stall, maybe bounce or break. So indeed, they have to be places where you watch out. But for our needs and the important of our 1 minute time frame, we put it on the 5 minute now, and down here we had these areas here of a buy zone, and we got a sell zone up here. So we need confirmation of price going into these zones. And because we only have a 10% target for the month, we can afford to pick the best probability trades. So the best probability trade is waiting for price to get into these zones and then acting. Like for here, for example, it went into the buy zone. But unfortunately, you would have lost that one at 7 o'clock this morning because you would have put your stop loss. But at the same time, I would have noticed all this. See, the trick is with trading is to notice what's gone on before and work out your probabilities of getting the best trade for yourself. And if you can see all this sort of shenanigans here, you possibly wouldn't want to get into a trade knowing that this is all sideways movement. Never always try and get a trend, whether it's a mini trend or a bigger trend, or you don't want to be getting into any sideways sort of action really, because there's no strategy that would cope with that very well. And if we go back to the 5 minute again, I mean, look at all that. So we will put it on the 1 minute time frame. Now, I wouldn't be taking that buy there because there's no, like I said, we have, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We have one trade today, hopefully, successful trade, 2% profit. And if you fail that, you can go and take another trade. And if that wins, you've got 1% of the day. Be happy with that. You got your little bit, and then come back again fresh the next day, reanalyze all that good stuff. Steve has been doing a fantastic job. I mean, April, I can't tell you how difficult April is, I found for trading generally before a certain person called Trump got in, but you had that on top of it with all his tariffs and everything. So Steve did an excellent job last month, and he's managed to get well, sorry, not me, the Academy 55 live trading that we do. We're, so look, by the way, this is for all. Let's just drag this in. This is for all those who are members. You can download this and watch it anytime. So at the moment, we're already the month of May with 3% in profit, thanks to Steve. And let's have a look at April. In April, we had a exceptionally difficult month. I can't tell you how difficult. Oh, sorry, that's April 24. I do apologize. Good grief. Sorry, April 25. We are in for the week 3.98%. Well, that is really, really good for April, end of year, financial years. Budgets have not been created yet. They're getting rid of their old yearly budget generally. And then along comes Trump with his tariffs and all that. So 3.98%. a quick, if you've got $100,000 account, that's nearly 4,000 US dollars. 80% of that, quick maths, about 332, something like that. £3,200, no dollars, which again is about 2,800 quid, something like that. So not bad going. And now Steve has managed to get us, sorry, not me, us, a 3% at the moment. Jolly good. So that's for everybody to see. So this is the state of play at the moment. See that trend line I drew up? See how important that is? Look, prices hovering around that area there. And then, I mean, I like doing this paper trading because by not going in the zones for that confirmation, you've got about a 65 to 70% win rate. So it's still pretty good, but going in the zones gives you that extra 5% win rate generally. So I like paper trading these. So what I would do is I go up to keep a minimum of 2 pips away. So if I was activating on that buy, just paper trading it. Obviously, you wait for it's already green, but so that's where the stop loss would be. But so that's before that support and resistance lines, which would give me a bit more of a encouragement to do that if I was to trade that. Because don't forget, price is above the purple line here. So we have got a natural buy bias. This is our EMA 462. And that's put into our strategy. Basically, if price is above this purple line, we've got a buy bias. If it's below the purple line, we've got a sell bias. And so short position. So I'm in no hurry to take a trade. Don't need to. Because we only want 10% a month. See, you get all these people online. Oh, we get 10% a day and all that. That is total BS. It's just done for marketing purposes. And if you have a big account, who wouldn't be happy with 10% a month? Getting consistency. Nice to see so many people on this morning. So if we had a sell here, again, we would be out of this is the buy zone here. Let's just go back onto the 5 minute. There's our buy zone. This area here is pretty important, but we would be out of that. But price is just not committing to one or the other. It's just happy going in this sort of area here, not trending very much, a sideways sort of movement. And like I said, we're after big commitments of price going into these zones. So I'm just paper trading this because, like I said, we have a 65% success rate. Ah, there we go, a sell there now. I'm paper trading this. So indeed, you probably would have got in. Right, your stop loss will be there. Oh my goodness, there we go. Would have got in there, which would take your 2% to there. Okay, need to come up a bit. So that'll be there. Where the trend goes from green to red, that's where your stop loss is. So you possibly would have got in there. And let's see how that would have done. I wouldn't trade it myself because I'm picking my best probabilities. Because the market is nervy, no doubt, because of what we're seeing here. But let's see how this one would have got on. There is a bit of more volatility today because of the times we live in. Yeah, sorry, I won't move that, but that's where the stop loss would be. Oh, 2% down there. That's a 3.5. Yeah, I'd be nervous about taking that trade, but I've paper traded it for you guys because we are in a buy bias. So this will be a retracement trade now back to the purple line, which obviously does happen. Move that over there a minute. But a lot of nervousness in the action. You can see nothing really trending at all. It's all going rather sideways. It is what it is, and you've got to act accordingly and think to yourself, do I really want to trade in conditions like that? When you know that you only need 10% a month. Now, if that happens like that all day, there's no problem. The trick with trading is not it's keeping your money. And indeed, there we go. That would have lost that trade, but because we know we're in because history tells us that we are in a sort of sideways sort of attempt. So that's why we have to wait for those extra confirmations of being into these buy zones and stuff like that to give you the best probability of a trade. May take may take a while, may not take a while. We don't know the timings of why they move when they move, unless there's red flag News, of course. And if you've been here for an hour and nothing's really grabbing at you, you either come back later on in the day or you come back tomorrow. And because we've only got like a 10% rate that we need for the month, learn patience, learn fear of missing out to control all that. Appreciate the fact that you're looking at a very nervy market, very sideways market, no commitments of what they want to do. Recognize all that and say, well, I'll either come back this afternoon, maybe choose the US 100 or have a look at the EUR USD later on this afternoon, which is what I might do. See how it goes. If you can still see that, all this sideways movement on either the 1 minute or the 5 minute, well, obviously that is not good trading conditions, and don't try and trade it. What makes you think you're gonna win? I'd be more inclined to take this one if I was going to do anything because of the price being above the purple line, the buy bias. But note how this line here attracts, and that's where the stop loss would be if it went to green. Make sure you got that all important 1% written in there as your risk to reward. And your lot calculator on. See how it stopped there, look. This line here is obviously very important. 1, 2, 3 areas here on more or less where we are now at 135. It's broken that area now. You would have got in there. 2% would take you, right, 2% of there. So that area there, because it's a support and resistance line, would be a bit nervy. and possibly put my stop loss to my entry. If we got the price gets up to there, but really it's again not the greatest conditions for a trade. That's a 4.7 pips stop loss because that's where the stop loss will be where the trend went green again. Waiting for price to get above this area here, so you would have got in there. Let's just see how that would have done. I haven't taken the trade as such. Well, I haven't taken the trade. I'm paper trading it again. Because for me personally, this is the first time I've got in for 6 weeks now, and I don't want to be committing to anything too great, not on the first day anyway, and especially not when I've seen all this. So I'm paper trading this, but this is how I would have done that one because it's a lot better conditions than taking a sell because we're above the purple line here. So we're on a buy bias sort of thing, but you got to be wary about seeing all this sideways movement coming out of consolidation and also this area here. So I wouldn't be too keen about this trade anyway, but we'll paper trade it no doubt. See how it works out. I think I'll throw the chat open. Hang on. You've forgotten how you do this. Oh, there we go. Right, if anybody's got a question about what they've just seen, or they want to say hi or whatever, please do so now. And I'll answer any questions if you have any. But the important thing is we're hanging on to the 3% that Steve got us so far this month. Nikki says, hello, what time would you come back to the chart to trade either EU or NAS this afternoon? Well, the NAS will be gaining volatility 2:30 onwards. That's when the New York Stock Exchange opens. So I'll be coming back around about 2:30. Thanks, Anne. She says, welcome back. Thank you, Anne. So that'll be, yeah. So I'll be coming back around 2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that. And then using our Zoom on the 5 minute to get our confirmations and all that. Because there'll be a lot more mo energy in the market. And then just have a look at then. But if you see after that, if you still see all this, do you want to trade it? I would like to think you think, no, of course I wouldn't. But this is at this moment, globally, this is what we're seeing because of the thanks. Does the Academy 55 indicator only work on EU and NAS? Has anyone tried in on any other pairs? Interesting question. Yes, the answer is yes, it does work on other pairs, of course, but we have trialed it on the EUR and the NAS 100, and we have lots of information on that by backtesting. The reasons why we chose the EU and the NAS 100 is because once they go in a certain direction, they go in a certain direction. Other 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 Forex pairs or anything else tend to not be so direct. The EUR USD generally is moves very, very smoothly without being choppy, without seeing these wicks coming down. And see on the GBP USD, for example, you could a lot of the time it is a smooth movement, but not as smooth as the EUR USD. So you might be coming up very nice, and all of a sudden a spike will come down and hit your stop loss, and then go on the way you've been doing. So if you want to try any other pairs or anything like that, we more or less encourage it, but with a caveat, don't trade it for real, and make sure you back test your results on your trading journal, like we got a trading journal for at least 4 weeks plus, and see how it works for you. And of course, if you find another currency pair or any other commodity that works really well for you, share it with us. And then we will take a look as well. But the thing is to back test, back test, back test, and before you commit to trading it. So anyway, that's a long gold. Yeah, well, gold is very, very, can be very, very volatile. A lot more volatile than we're seeing here. Triggers of gold. Again, have a experience. If you have experience of gold, Ian saying, "Morning, David. Glad to see you back. Thank you, Ian." Bank holiday yesterday. Do you find Tuesday after is like Monday? Normally is the volume. Um, Normally, yes, but we're not living in normal times at the moment, are we? Because of the tariffs and the nervousness we're seeing. So normally, yeah, yeah. It's, normally the Tuesday would be treated like you would on Monday. And I don't like Mondays because that's when the market's setting up for the month. Sorry, for the week. Uh, so I like to get them, give them a chance to set the stall out for the rest of the week. So I usually come in on Tuesdays. But again, it all ties into the fact that as you know, we only go after 10%. So knowing that the markets could be like that, they might not be. But there's a bigger possibility that they will be. Uh, you know, setting the stall out for the rest of the week, it might work. It might work fine. But generally, they do set the markets out for the rest of the week. And if I only want 10% for the month, why would I want to put myself in the position where it could go a bit awry because of that. Come back tomorrow or stuff. But like I say, me personally, I'm taking very, very easily myself back in because I haven't traded, even looked at it for 6 weeks now. And I'm personally just getting my mojo back, getting my analytic brain booted. And Steve's done such a good job as with getting us 3% this month already. So I don't want to come along and with my rusty old mind and ruin all that. And also we haven't got the confirmations of price going into the zones anyway. So see how price reacted off that support and resistance line we drew in on the higher time frames. And I said, didn't I? I said this is where I would put my stop loss to my entry. And as you can see, I would have been taken out. And now indeed the Parallel has gone above price. So, it might be on having more sideways movement or on the turn again. Bit more retrace down to these levels here to sort out that imbalance there. Maybe. Might be wrong. We don't know. But see how it's respecting that support and resistance line now? In actual fact, it's just taking out Parallel and it might be okay. In which case, my decision to put my stop loss there would have been wrong. But then again, I'm a cautious trader. Other traders who are not quite so cautious might not have done that and just prepared to take the 1% loss if it indeed happened. Every trader is different. And now that line could act as resistance now. Could do. How do you determine where to put the stop loss? Right. Okay, that's a technical question. That's easy. We've got trainings in the back office. Right, for here, for example, you put your stop loss on the trend line because the trend line is closer to your entry. So you put your stop loss where the trend line starts to go green. That's where your stop loss goes on this example here. But let's see if we can find another one. Right here. Let's draw this up. You've got to keep a minimum of 2 pips away. So here, for example, the stop loss would go. Oh, you get into the trade. Roughly there on that candle there, I suggest, and 2 to 1. Take it down to there. And as you can see, hang on, I'll make this bigger. And as you can see, this time the stop loss is there because where the green wave turns to the red, that is nearest the entry, not the trend line. As in this example, it was the trend line because that is nearer to entry than where the red wave meets the green. So you put your stop loss there where the red trend line turns green, whichever one's closest. Either your trend line's closer to your entry or your wave is closer to your entry. So in that example, it's the trend line. And in this example, it's the wave because the wave is closer to your entry. Green wave turns to red. And that one was a winner as well, as you can see. And that's a 3 pip being realistic. That's a 3 pip distance because you can see the 3-0. That means 3 pips between stop loss and entry. But here it's the wave because the wave is closer to entry. And here it is the trend. And we've got trainings for that in the back office, Nikki, if you like to have a look at those. But yeah, so paper trading, that one, as you can see, that one would have been a winner. And I would have made the wrong decision by putting my stop loss to my entry. I wouldn't have lost anything, but I wouldn't have won anything either because I'm a cautious trader. Because what you got to do is when you're trading, keep hold of your equity. It's not about the winning, it's about keeping hold of your equity that makes you a consistent trader. That's okay, Nikki. Yeah, understood. Oh, you can, yeah, I'll see if I can dig that video out. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Please bear with me a minute. Um, I haven't looked at these for a long time, so these are all the little here we go.
Hi, this is Steve with a very short video to show you where to get the training for the indicators and tools we use inside Academy 55. So once you're logged into the members area, you'll see in the premium dashboard this section that's entitled Start Learning. And if you click here, that'll take you through to the Learning Library. Now, I will say at this point, we highly recommend you watch each of these videos 2 or 3 times to get a full understanding of how everything works. Here you'll find tutorials on using the MT4 Trade Assistant and how to use the MT4 platform with the Trade Assistant. This is the longest video you'll find inside the platform. It's around 30 minutes long, well worth your time. Watch the video once, then maybe write a few questions down you might have for yourself, and watch the video for a second time, and things will really start to make sense. By the time you watch it 3 times, you'll fully understand how everything works. So that's the longest video. It's about 30 minutes long, well worth your time. And then you can jump into individual trainings here for how to remove indicators. These videos are just a couple of minutes long. How to move MetaTrader around like you can in TradingView, Trading Assistant controls, how to do back testing in TradingView, how to draw vertical lines to mark out your hour, and so much more. And by the time you watch this video or see this video, there might be other trainings in this section. But everything here is well worth your time, and you find that, as I said a moment ago, from the main dashboard in the Start Learning section. Now, one more thing just to mention here. If you're looking for anything in particular, if you come down to the support name of FAQs, click on Get Support, and in this area you'll find a detailed FAQ section, and you can come through here. For example, if you're looking for an answer to a question about MetaTrader, have a look through these, and once you click through, you'll find direct links to videos that give you answers to most of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis. So hopefully you found this useful, and back to your further training.
So there you go, Nikki. There, right. Okay, so back to what's going on at the moment. I think we can call that a successful trade there, even though I didn't do it myself. But despite all the sideways movement, because this time of the day generally is good for the EUR USD because this is when they set their stall out for the rest of the day, trend wise. Between 7 and 9, because the European banks open at 7, and then the London bank kicks in at 8 o'clock. And if anything, to get out of this sideways movement, if anything, when it's going to happen between 7 and 9, getting out of this air, this consolidatory path that they were on. So that's the time I like to trade the EUR USD, but using the zones any time of the day with the EUR USD and the NAS 100 will also suffice. So, showing you a trade that actually won. I myself may come back later on today. I've got an awful lot of admin stuff to do and other jobs that I'm doing at the moment. So I'm not I'm not 100% on trading like I was. Got other things to be considering. So I may or may not come back as on when, but yeah, so after 2:30 when the volume kicks in for the NAS 100, and also keep looking at the EUR USD till about 4 o'clock. NAS 100 will carry on obviously till about 8 o'clock UK time. And just keep your eye out on that. Wait for price to get into the zones. And one other little thing, as you can see, we've drawn these zones up. Actually, in fact, that's shifted, isn't it? Was up there, is now down there. So what you could do is, if I was waiting for price to get onto this zone here on the 5 minute time frame, instead of looking at the charts all the time, what you can do is draw yourself a little line there, and then you right click, add alert on horizontal ray, and then you can write, and then you just create an alert which will pop up, and then when the alert pops up, you know the price has gone into this one, so you'll be looking for the next sell when you go down onto the 1 minute. So you can do that. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to take my leave, and I will see you all again tomorrow. So have yourselves a great day, and we'll speak to you soon. Cheers for now.